I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to update legislation at the state capitol that deals with debtor relief. My guest this segment is Bob Wieckowski, member of the state Senate from Fremont. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
So we've talked to you about this before. You were on our program a while ago. You have 3 bills that are now out of the Senate in the Assembly regarding debtor relief. Give us an idea of the scope of the problem you're trying to address.
Well, we're trying to focus in on consumer debt. The legislature has done a real good job on raising the minimum wage and the earned income tax credit. This is looking at consumer debt, whether you're in bankruptcy and giving you a little bit more of your assets to hold on to, on wage garnishment to allow wage earners to keep a little bit more of their wages as their debt gets paid down, or on debt buyers and allowing people to go into court if they have a default judgment and ask the court to set that aside and give them their day in court.
And so the basis for this is that you've seen experiences where people go into debt and then they just get ruined. I mean, and they can't dig themselves out of the hole.
Right. Well, take for instance the garnishment bill. I mean, in 1968, LBJ was president. We had the Great Society, and we never had garnishment. And they decided, we knew that this was going on. People were attaching wages to collect a debt, and the federal government said you can't have a garnishment more than 25% because that would be slavery or indentured servitude. So California just rubber stamped it and said, let's keep it at 25%. And now many more people have credit cards, consumer debt. So to allow one unsecured creditor to take a quarter of your take-home pay really leaves many working families devastated. They just can't do it, and they're forced into bankruptcy. So we want to, for the lowest income folks, we want to reduce that so they can buy milk for their kids and pay their car insurance and their rent.
And one of your other bills allows debtors to keep more of their belongings.
Right. We find when you go, the California exemptions in bankruptcy law haven't really kept pace with the times. And there's, not to get too detailed, but there's 2 exemption schedules, but one of them only allows you to have a car worth $2,300, and what is that? And that's not really a car for somebody who wants a fresh start to get to and from work. So we raise it up so both exemptions are the same at a $6,000, still a very modest vehicle to make sure that people can get to work and they can recover after going through a bankruptcy experience.
Mm-hmm. There is opposition. California Bankers Association has been opposed, with the Association of California Tax Collectors, something like that.
Right.
And I guess their argument is that this legislation would allow some debtors to basically shield hundreds of thousands of dollars from the creditors.
Right, and that's really a misnomer. I mean, they're talking about, we're modestly raising the homestead. For a married couple, we're raising it $25,000. In many states like Pennsylvania, Florida, Texas, Nevada, they have an unlimited homestead exemption. So if you have a house worth $10 million and it's free and clear, you get to keep it. All we're going is up $25,000. So if I was going to work the system, I would move to Florida. I mean, Burt Reynolds did it years ago. Mm-hmm. So that's really not what we're talking about. We're talking about giving people their, if you have a cause of action for discrimination for workers at work, the trustee in bankruptcy can sell that for $5,000. And I thought that's not a good idea. Let that debtor keep that exemption and pursue that bad acting employer. And those are the types of changes that we made that are really worthy of consumers having that fresh start.
Only a couple of seconds left. The bill is pending in the Assembly. You're pretty confident?
Oh yeah, all 3 of them are pending. We've taken some amendments. There's been compromises. The debt buyers bill gives people a chance in court. That's up too.
All right. Well, we're out of time for this segment, unfortunately, but Bob Wieckowski, thanks for coming by and talking about this issue. Best of luck with your legislation.
Thanks.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on the California channel, on YouTube, also on My Government On Demand.